racing down the highway, having me some fun. Cop pulled me over, said, boy, what have you done? I said, I killed old Jack Daniels and I left him there to die. Now if you don't mind, I'd sure like to get high. He said,
son, you're in trouble. I'm gonna take you in.
I said, you do what you gotta do, then I started to grin. He said, what's so funny, boy? I said, sounds like a country song to me. Sounds just like the songs old Waylon used to sing.
Okay, good morning everyone. Firstly, thank you Ian and Rita for the plates, really appreciate that. If anybody else out there has got plates to send us from around the world to add to the collection, they are simply to show us where you are viewed from and how far away we are appreciated from. And Australia, well, don't get much further than that, does it? Exactly the other side of the planet. So thank you again Ian and Rita, have a lovely Christmas both of you, really appreciate it. Okay, into today's fun and games. Now I said in the last video, brake discs. I've got to take these apart, clean up the centerpiece, get all that flaky chrome off, and then hopefully be able to put them back together. I've done a little bit of research in the interim and they are dismantleable, if there is such a word. They've got the circlips on the back, I can flip those out, take off the little spring washers in there, pop out the buttons, and then I should be able to clean them up and reuse them. I found some replacement bobbins online. They're about £25 for a set of 9, which is odd, but they're not these particular buttons. I want these ones if I possibly can because they're the correct ones for the Brembo. But the ones I've found do fit the Brembo disc, so I'll be able to use them if I need to. Hopefully I won't because I need 2 sets, so it'd be about £50 for a set of bobbins, and I don't have to spend that if I can clean them up. But I do have to clean up those centres. These are composite discs, as you can see. They consist of 2 main components. You've got the rotor on the outside and a carrier in the middle. Normally these carriers are just anodised, but in this instance, that's not. They're chrome plated, and I'll repeat it again, you should never chrome plate aluminium because its lifetime is finite, it never lasts very long, and this is flaking off horribly all over the place, so it just won't do. And I do want to use them, I don't just want to replace these discs. I could save up and get some new ones, but why? These are Brembo discs, they're hardly anywhere on them whatsoever, and they are definitely an upgrade on the Harley Davidson one, so I'm going to go with them. I just need to get that sorted out. So it's take them apart, get the front one off the front wheel because the front wheel's going anyway, so I need to prepare that disc for the new front wheel when it turns up. And that, hopefully, at the end of today's video, I should have 2 rotors cleaned off with the polishing disc, all that chrome removed, and a nice coat of the satin black so that I can put them back in and rebuild them after it's had 48 hours to dry. But before I start any of that, let's pump the tyre up, get the wheel back down out the way. I'm not going to put the wheel back in because I've got to put the brake rotor on it, and they aren't ready yet because that's today's. So let's get into it. Right, there we are, so that's got that out. I've put the wheel back in sheerly for safety, no other reason, just to stand the bike on something, give it a third point of contact. I've got 2 table jacks underneath it, front and rear on the frame, straps down, but also a tyre as well. Every little helps. That's quite a lot of weight to pick up if it falls on your head. So here we go, brake upgrade. Now I just want to look at that as well. Glancing front and rear on the bike when they're that far apart, I didn't really notice immediately that that front disc is a big fat 320mm disc. I think. Yeah, 320mm disc, which is kind of sports bike size. Obviously there's only one of them, not a pair, but you've got a 4-pot Brembo caliper and you've only got a 2.5-inch wide tyre on the front of this as standard, so you wouldn't want any more than that. That is right up on the ragged edge. Without ABS, it'd be dangerous to add more braking force to the front of this. But I'm happy it's got this, I really am. I've said it many times. So these rotors have now got to be stripped off the carriers. As you can see, I don't know why I think the front is a little bit worse. Now I did look over the last few days and I can't get, it would appear, I can't buy that central carrier. I can buy the discs, I can buy Brembo discs, of course I can, but I can't get that central piece, so I've got to refurbish it, I've got no choice. It can't rock like that, that's awful, there's no way that's flying on the beach, and I've got to make something better of it. So if stripping this apart, painting that, putting it back together, in some way trashes the disc, which it probably, I can't see how it possibly could, it won't, but if it ever did, it really doesn't matter because there's no way I can run them like that. So I'd have to replace them anyway. And I think I can apply that mentality to a lot of things. If the chrome on it is trashed and the finish is absolutely completely knackered, then there's nothing to lose in stripping them apart and trying to refurbish them. If trying to refurbish them fails, it doesn't matter. At least you know that what you have to then spend on brakes moving forward is at least something you had to spend. It was inevitable anyway. So there we go. That's a lot of chat. Let's get the clips off the back and see how easy it is, or isn't, to strip these apart. Right, here we are, 2 carriers, couldn't replace them, tried, couldn't find them for sale anywhere, and these are perfect other than the finish. So let's grind off all this crappy chrome, all this crud and dirt, let's paint them up and put them back together and hopefully see if they deserve a place back on the bike. Let's get busy. Right, okay, that's as good as I'm going to get them on the abrasive wheels. I'll bring them over. Nice. Now that's took all the chrome, all the nickel, the corrosion, everything that was on there is gone. Very gently, 3 hours to do that. Yep, 3 hours. Long old time, but there it is worth it because obviously I don't want to overheat them, so the procedure was to do it until it was warm to my hand, then swap them over and do some to the other one which had got cold and just keep rotating so that they don't get any hotter than just sort of hand warm, because obviously you don't want to warp them. Now there's still some chrome around this edge which I want to deal with next. Let's have a go. Right, there we are, done and dusted, ready to go. Now that's all the chrome and all the nickel ground off. Didn't actually see that yellow tinge that was on the back wheel, so I'm not sure there was even any nickel there. I think they could have just chromed these straight over the aluminium. The bond between the plating and the alloy was so bad, it was so poor, it just flew off. I didn't have to grind into these. I didn't want to and I wasn't going to, but it would never have been necessary is what I'm saying. The chrome on these was just so rubbish, it flew off. As soon as these things, these Scotch Brite mops touched it, it just flicked it off out the way and polished it down. And after that, it was just a case of getting the scratches out, and I have done. Now I can paint them black, give that a chance to dry and reassemble them before the end of the day. While they're drying, I can polish the bobbins and clean all the little split washers and circlips and get them ready to assemble by the end of the day. Well, that's chat. Let's get on with it. Right, there we go. That's one good coat. One wet coat, that's all they're getting. They won't need any more than that. It's block, it's uniform, there's no silver showing, and when that dries, it will dry just as durable as 6 coats. The only time I've ever put 6 coats on in the past has been when I'm using it on the Street Fighter, and if you remember on the turbo bike before, as a base coat to be rubbed back on the bodywork. So you put 6 coats on because I'm going to rub half of that back and I want to make sure I don't rub through it. And on this, that's how they're going to stay. 1 coat is enough, normally 2 on the fork legs, but I want to be able to fit them at the end of today. So I'm going to bang the heater in front of them, and then we can start cleaning up all the hardware, ready to assemble them, probably about 3 hours time. Right, okay, after many hours, what's it now? 20 to 4, that's a long day. And we are ready to assemble, very carefully, very gingerly. The paint on those is as dry as it needs to be for this. As I said, it is a thin coat, so that should be okay. Carefully handled, they'll go together nicely. There may be a little scratch here or there, but I can touch that in, it's not the end of the world. I think you'd get that whether they were that dry or 2 days dry. I don't think it makes any difference. Assembling these is going to be a careful process. And look at that lot. Who would have thought that there are 70 things that you need in order to connect them bits to them bits? 70 things, so there, 35 things each. You've got the bobbin, the washer, the spring washer and the circlip, and on the rear it had a spacer washer as well, unlike the front. So there we go, who knows. Anyway, that's it. We're all clean, we're all ready, all clean and ready to go. Let's do the rear one first. Belt guard. Okay, there we go. What do y'all think? Look at that. Oh my God. They are lovely. Now I quite like this restoring malarkey. It's quite good fun actually to take something that was horrible this morning and turn it into that in a day. That is really nice. Therapeutic, rewarding, call it what you like, but that's it. Now, so there we are. 2 discs, Harley Davidson for the use of, Brembo, ready to go. Tick, that's that done. Now I'm not going to bolt them to the wheels yet because I'm going to replace them both. As you know, I'm going to replace the front wheel, already said about that, and the rear, I think I'm going to replace that as well. I'm going to put a pair of wheels in it that match, something lightweight, business-like, that gets on with the job. These big heavyweight wheels, really and honestly, they're just holding the bike back. I think somebody said 3 horsepower of that front wheel's worth. I think that's all it leaves you with. 16 ton, I mean, 16 kilos that front wheel. Absolutely great if that's what you want. If you want to hold the front of your bike down, then that's the thing for you. That's your Huckleberry. But the rear, I was going to go as well. This thing is about the same weight. That's the old XL 1200 custom rear wheel. Goes in the back of the extra 1200C. The chrome all peeled off it, so I had to paint it anyway. It's going to go on eBay in the new year, so it's important to make it presentable. So there we are. If you're interested in something like that, get in touch. All the bearings are all perfect. The tyre needs replacing because it's awful, but other than that, it's ready to go. And I will be putting a pair of wheels in this because I'm after some handling. I'm after this bike being able to be chucked about with abandon and enjoyed. I've got the business-like drag bars on the front. I'm going to put a smaller front wheel. I'm going to go down to 19 inch. 21 inch wheel pizza cutters, they're okay, but you only have a 2 inch wide tyre. The tread patch that you've got, the footprint is tiny. That ain't safe. I like a 19 by 3 inch tyre, so that will make a much chunkier front end and it will lower the front a little bit as well, which brings me to the rear. The rear suspension, I've got it. I've bought the rear suspension units now. I haven't got them here right this minute, but I'll unbox them in the next video. I've gone mad and got the best suspension that money can buy. I've got a bit of budget left. The guys at W&W Cycles helped us out with the pulley, a few other things, and they've helped us out with these shocks as well. Amazing, astonishing people. Thank you to Wolfgang and Jochen at W&W Cycles helping us out, and all the team as well for sending the stuff over to us, because it's making this project something it was never really going to be. This is going to be an awesome bike when it's done, and it's definitely going to be a keeper. The shocks will be unboxed and bolted on in the next one, and that will start to take the bike down a performance route. Not so much engine performance, because you're never really going to do much with that, but handling for sure. Definitely lightweight wheels, and I'm talking to them about that in the future, but I'm not going there yet. And once they're done, I'll bolt those discs on and refurb the rear calipers. I've got Brembo 4-pot calipers, you know, I've got performance brakes already. This is definitely going to be a performance handling bike at the very least. Certainly in Harley Dyna terms. Anyway, I know you Fireblade owners are laughing, but there you go, come on, give us a chance. Harleys do handle, and you can have a lot of fun riding a Harley fast. It can be a very frightening experience, and I think you can do your best with a good suspension, good tyres, because things like this Harley tyre, they're just lethal. So once I've got good tyres, lightweight wheels, I've got decent brakes, and obviously decent suspension, which you'll see in the next video, that hopefully will be just about as best as that bike can ever handle. Anyway, there we go. In the next video, once I've bolted the lovely suspension on and you see what we've got there, I'm going to tack this. This is the belt guard, standard factory OEM. And I'm going to bore holes in it like that all the way up and paint it black. Not because it's light or anything, just because it will look cool. And it will be more black and less chrome, and that's good. And apparently, according to Harley's accessory catalogue, if you bore holes in it and paint it black, it becomes a shotgun belt guard. Oh yes, it does. I saw some heat shields for exhausts, and if they've got holes in and they're black, they're called shotgun heat shields. And it's the same with one of these. So I'm going to make this into a shotgun belt guard in the next video. So there we are. Thank you for your amazing support. Thank you for all of your encouragement. You're cheering us along. We're loving every minute of this. This will be on the road in March because I'm desperate to ride it. It's going at a pace now. And yes, to just about all of you that have said it, it will be a calf racer next. So there we go. That's a pledge. I'm going to make it that. What it's like and what bike it will be with, I don't know. I'm enjoying your suggestions. Keep them coming. Some of them are absolutely hilarious. So there we go. Thank you for watching. I'm going to update the board. Take it easy. Ride safe. Merry Christmas. See you next time.
I was racing down the highway, having me some fun. Cop pulled me over, said, boy, what have you done? I said, I killed old Jack Daniels and I left him there to die.